Good morning, and this morning, this is the cafeteria scrubber for the customer. We're missing the skirts for the front. That was the first thing, and the head custodian, who's relatively new here, does not know where they're at. So I know I'm not going to really put those on right now because they could be in a different location. So one issue, and I talked to the user, we're getting a full charge on the batteries, and what's happening, one of the first things I noticed, these are the original batteries from 2019, A, B, C, D, E, F, that's June of 2019. Taking delivery probably July or August of that year. So what's happening is these went through the COVID shutdown and they got probably neglected, and there was some watering issues. So they already said that the deck was coming up while they're running the machine after a short period of time. That tells me that these batteries are sulfated. Mind you, this is a full charge, but I will probably demonstrate here shortly what a load test will look like once I turn the machine on. Also, some other things I like to replace, check and replace, is the hoses. Okay, they've had so much chemical go through them. We want to replace these. Also, there was no aftercare of the squeegee. They weren't picking up any water, so look at this whole track. So there's probably been no aftercare training once they received the machine. I understand it was probably dropped here. So, showing that it's fully charged, but with that said, we may have an issue with the capacity the batteries now have. And here's the solution system. So this is the newest machine in the fleet. Also, here's another issue. They're dragging hair and everything in the rear wheels, and oh, the rear wheel looks like it could be damaged. Let me see. Or is that just, yeah, this is just debris. So they got to be aware of debris getting hooked into the wheel, because it would cause the whole machine to have difficulty turning. So squeegee adjuster is functional but needs to be lubricated. So I'm gonna get this turned on. Also, another thing I wanted to note, the lack of cleaning inside the tank here. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this, and this is very important. Okay, so whatever they're picking up here, I don't know. One of the good signs here is the gasket along here is in good shape. But this really needs to be cleaned out daily, especially the debris tray. Okay, back to the battery load test I was talking about. The batteries are slightly higher because I had to add water. There was some that ate up so much water when John put extra water, when John filled the dry battery cells. It took on so much water, some of them went dry again. So that tells me originally that when you have dry cells, when you see these plates inside the battery cell here, you lose that part of the battery. So right now, it's kind of stabilized right now. So I'm gonna turn on the machine, and it's gonna go green, showing it's fully charged right now. And the first thing I'm gonna do is have the vacuum go on, not the deck yet. So right now it's really dropping. And I still haven't turned on the brush motor. So watch this big jump when I turn on the brush motor. Still going down. So they're saying they're getting about 20 minutes, and I tend to believe them because once we hit 24, what happens is, right now we're already losing RPM. That's the back motor in there. So within about a minute or so, or less, we're going to get to 24, and then once we get down to the 23 and 22, the deck is going to come up. That's called low voltage cutoff, and that essentially tells you got to recharge the batteries. So we haven't even been within a couple minutes now. So the vacuum motor has lost RPMs and it's not picking up water as well as it should be. And now we're into 23. So these batteries, even though it showed charged, green solid light, that's not a true indicator until you actually put some testing in place. Like I do for every suspected runtime issue, I have to do this testing, which also includes hydrometer testing, and I did find a bad cell. This is my hydrometer. Fill it up, and we have a dead cell already. So that's all it takes. But they did 3 years, and it went through COVID a little bit.